Hello again. Welcome back to a day on the range. Uh, we're into April. Spring is finally here for sure. We had a bit of bad weather last week, but things are warming up. It's nice outside, a little windy. We will be doing some shooting afterwards. What I wanted to discuss today was a thing called the Archer's Paradox. I've been seeing a lot of videos crop up on YouTube from other archers with their discussion and explanation of what the Archer's Paradox is. So I figured I might as well jump on the bandwagon and put in my little 2 cents. Unfortunately, unlike Greg over at 3D Archery, and I'll include a link, I don't have any fancy lasers or fancy string, Greg. So my explanation is just going to be verbal with a minimum amount of visual aid. So anyway, when we're talking about Archer's Paradox, it deals mostly with longbows, specifically English longbows. The reason being is they don't have a cut shelf. Your hand basically becomes the shelf that the arrow rests on. And because the string runs down the center of the belly of the bow, or in line with the belly of the bow, the center, you have a weird configuration between the arrow and the bow itself. So when it's at brace height, or at rest, you're pointing at the target, but your arrow is actually pointing away. If you're a right-hand shooter, it'll be pointing to the left. If you're a left-hand shooter, it'll be pointing to the right. Now, once you start to draw, and you bring the arrow back, it tends to line up more with the bow and the target. There might still be a bit of an offset, but not much. What happens, though, is as you release, the arrow wants to go back to an offset angle, but because of the force that you're putting on the arrow, it tends to bend around the bow, and that's fine. You know, that means that your arrows have to be properly tuned to that bow so that they're flexible enough to work their way around, you can see that, around the bow itself, without being too flexible that they could either break or your shot goes very wild. And as the arrow travels down its flight path, it will move back and forth until it settles down. Now, that's what they call the Archer's Paradox. And there's lots of paradoxes in the universe. It's full of them. And basically what it means is, the explanation is, you think of one thing, but it's not, and yet it still works. Okay, I probably give you a better description. An example would be, the only thing certain in life is uncertainty, and they consider that a paradox. So it's either a statement or an action that would otherwise be wrong, but still be right. Wow. Okay. The biggest thing you have to remember is physics works, the science works. So as long as you've got arrows that are spined properly for your longbow, I wouldn't get too concerned about it. It will work out. And as long as you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, and your aim is on, the arrow will go where it's supposed to. That's basically, you know, everybody gets their panties in a knot about the Archer's Paradox or this and that, the other thing. It works. You know, just accept it, and like I said, make sure your bow and arrows are tuned to each other, and that'll be fine. The other thing about paradoxes is, even though you can know what that particular paradox is, there's an explanation for it, doesn't make it any less a paradox. It just means that it's doing something that you wouldn't otherwise think it would do. And again, like I said, the universe is full of paradoxes. Now, there's another type of paradox with respect to archery that a lot of people don't talk about. With Archer's paradox that we, usually refer to is the horizontal undulation of the arrow as it travels down its flight path. And the other one, and this will occur with your recurves, your center shot compound bows, anything cut to center or past center, is the vertical undulation. And that's when your bow or your arrow moves up and down. And if you see a lot of releases in slow motion, super slow motion, you can actually see the arrow jump off the rest and start to move like this. And again, it settles down along its way, and you wouldn't think it would. You'd think, oh, it's going to go high or low or something. But again, physics works. The arrow will settle down as it travels along its flight path and should hit where you point. So that's pretty much my explanation for the archer's paradox, is just bloody shoot. Don't worry about it. I have a little bit of a archer's paradox with my bow. It's cut near center, but not to center. So the arrows don't move back and forth as much as they would with an English longbow. And that's pretty much it. We're going to go out and do some shooting. Like I said, it's a beautiful day. It's warm. It's 4 now. It's supposed to get up to +8. A little windy, but that's okay. And we'll do some videotaping while I'm shooting. That's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to discuss. I'm not sure if you understood my explanation of paradox. If you did, great. If not, Webster. Go to the dictionary. It's got a great explanation for paradox. As far as it's concerned, archery, it works. Everything works out. And that's it. We'll go out and do some shooting. Have some fun. Wow. Okay, that's our video for today. It's still nice, not much sun, but still good weather for shooting. I hope my discussion on Archer's paradox wasn't too confusing. I keep trying to think of the simplest way to explain it, other than the fact that, you know what, your arrow's going to do this on the way down. It'll straighten out and hopefully hit where you're pointing, or your arrow will do this on the way down and it'll straighten out and hit where you're pointing it. So, Archer's paradox. Don't worry about it. Just shoot. Right? Greg at 3D Archery. I still think you did it better, but you know, I mean, you had lasers and special string. So, anyway, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and good shooting. And don't forget to like and subscribe. All right? Take care.